Jeff Steingart, Fire Chief, Countryside Fire Protection District. At 10:40 on Friday night, the Countryside Fire District was called to the Royal Melbourne subdivision in the village of Long Grove in the 4700 block of Trenton Court for a possible house fire. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the response, multiple 911 calls were reported for an explosion all over the northern suburbs area. Upon our arrival, crews were met with a house that was destroyed by the explosion and debris all over the street. The house that was destroyed was also on fire. We immediately requested a second alarm for additional resources through the mutual aid box alarm system. We were assisted by 14 other fire departments. We also had to tank water into the subdivision because it's a limited water supply. Miraculously, 2 people received minor injuries and were treated and released at the scene. In the aftermath, we learned that North Shore Gas was in the area prior to us being called for the fire, investigating a natural gas odor. Countryside fire investigators are currently working with North Shore Gas, the Office of the State Fire Marshal, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms in a joint investigation to determine the cause.
And do you know were the homeowners home when it happened?
Yes, actually, the homeowner was home at the time, just the female of the house. Discovered the fire, called 911, and evacuated the house. As she crossed the street is when the explosion occurred, and that's what makes this just unimaginable that somebody lived, given the amount of destruction that's here.
Do you know how many people live there?
I believe 2, her and her husband, who was out of town.
Okay, and were the injuries neighbors or?
The other injury was a neighbor in the house to the left, where there were 3 occupants at the time, and again, that one person in that home, just minor injuries and obviously shaken up.
And do you have any sense of the amount of property damage, like how many homes were?
Our preliminary assessment has about 50 homes with various levels of damage, from complete devastation, broken windows, door jams, garage doors, and the like.
How many are completely unlivable?
Right now we believe it's about 6, so about a dozen residents might be displaced. We're working with building officials to determine exactly who can go back into their house. Right now, natural gas is turned off to a large portion of the subdivision, and ComEd has disconnected electric to the most affected houses that have damage.
And cause is still under investigation, I presume?
Correct.
But it could be related to that odor?
Potentially.
Okay.
Where was the fire located at the house?
The occupant said that the fire was on the right side of the house,
Outside.
if you were facing outside. She noticed it out of a bathroom window.
Wow. And how often do you see something like this?
First time in my 32-year career that I've seen an explosion of this magnitude, which mirrors to me the tornadoes that I responded to last year in Washington, Illinois.
And how would you describe the house where the explosion occurred? Is it completely gone? I mean,
It's devastating. It's a pile of rubble.